Chers téléspectateurs, vous êtes de retour sur le plateau d'Africa 24. Vous le savez, nous sommes en direct d'Abidjan dans le cadre de la CGECI Académie. Un certain nombre d'invités, 2 en particulier, ont reçu des récompenses. Nous avons reçu un peu plus tôt Tony Eloumélou. Il est temps de rencontrer Chris KIRUBI, qui est le président directeur général de Centum Investment Group. Welcome.
No, thank you.
So, how do you feel after receiving this award?
I think it's a very great honor coming from West African countries. For me in East Africa, this is a good recognition.
A good recognition. Are you trying in some way to build a bridge between where you come from in Africa and where you are right now today?
I think Africa has been divided, especially by language. West Africa, country like Abidjan, they speak French. And we speak English, and I think it's about time that the whole continent came together and spoke one language and one investment, one vision. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to be a bridge across, yes.
Which language should be spoken by all the Africans? In your opinion, of course.
My opinion, we should be able to speak both languages. And as I said, we need to take English teachers from East Africa to come here and teach English, and we take French teachers from here to come and teach our kids how to speak French. I think both languages are very international and very empowering. We need both.
But the English-speaking countries' economies are more dynamic in Africa.
Well, they could have had an advantage because of Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Mauritius. But Mauritius speaks both languages, and I think it empowers countries to speak both languages because you need to be international, you need to work either in West or in East. I think it's important, yes. We should not be divided by language at all.
And what do you think about Ivory Coast, the economy of Ivory Coast?
I think this is a very exciting moment for Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast has gone through many years of turbulence, of war between tribes in a very devastating way. And I therefore believe the new president, Ouattara, is bringing the right environment, bringing confidence back to the investors. We saw the destruction that had been created in this country, but we believe that it was the last one, and going forward, the different groups of people here will unite for the benefit of growing the economy. Equally, I believe there are many, many opportunities of industrialization because the country itself is poised for big growth and big opportunities, yes.
And do you also think that, for example, all the countries of Africa should have the same currency?
It is a challenge. Common currency, we've seen it in the European Union. If countries do not adhere to the same macroeconomic discipline, they can trade with maybe common currency, the dollars, or through a medium like dollar terms until they have laws and disciplines to do the same thing, because if you do not do the same thing like we saw it in Greece and the rest of European Union, there are problems when you trust each other and both of you don't observe the same standards.
And what kind of partnerships could be created between countries like Kenya and Ivory Coast, for example?
I think we need to open markets for each other. We need to create a partnership. We need to allow goods from one corner of the countries to go to the other corner of the country. We need to bring business people to invest in each other's country. We need to bring this experience. You know, European Union joined hands because it is better to have a bigger market. And if Africa does not create that dynamics of big markets, we will never be China or India in this world. So small countries don't work. The economies of small scale don't really operate. We need in Africa to understand what it is to bring big common markets so that we can attract other investors from the rest of the world. We don't have to do the same thing, all of us. We do not have to copy each other. We need to specialize from one corner to the other. Yeah. We need to use regions which can produce more food, grow food. We need to add value to our raw materials, and we need to do mining. We need to do oil and gas sector so that we can supply to each other. Yeah. As I said, Africa is poor by choice.
Yes, we heard you about that. But don't you think that it's too risky, for example, for an Ivorian investor or businessman to go to an unknown country such as Kenya and try to invest there when he can do it maybe in the countries around Ivory Coast?
You know, if you take that policy, it's a policy based on fear, because if you have fear, you will not leave your village. But you leave your village to go to your big town. If you can be in your big town, you can be in another big town in the next door neighbor. If you can do that, you can also go to the other town. The most important thing is to have policies that welcomes people from different corners of Africa. I think if we can welcome each other and give opportunities to each other without discrimination, I think it will be very, very important if we can do that.
And what is the interest for you to participate in such an event, CGECI? What will remain from this event in your memory?
For me, I feel we are the earlier missionaries of hope, bringing policies, trying to make Africa believe in itself. And we hope, because we are successful in what we do, many other people can see us as role models, so that we can all work together to create opportunities, especially for young people. The young people don't believe in themselves, and they need role models. We need to transform the governments to see business as the source of creating wealth, and to believe that business people must participate in policy making. So it is very important that there is an interaction and a partnership between the rulers and those who are ruled, between the business and the governments, and also between the business and the consumers, because we must also take care of the consumers and their sentiments.
And if you had to invest in Ivory Coast, for example, tomorrow, in which sector would you choose?
I think I would look at processing of agri-products. It's an obvious one right now. People have talked about banking, but you can have too many banks. You need tourism, partnership. You also need to do investment in fishing industry. You need agribusiness is a big potential, because the weather in this country is amazing. And I think we should do more farming. I think Ivory Coast could feed the rest of Africa, to be honest.
Really?
Yes. We need technology. We need to bring more mechanization in whatever they do, yes.
And to finish with, how would you sell your country to an Ivorian investor, for example?
I would say Kenya has much developed, has industries, and what we need is to open the doors to create a common market between Ivory Coast and Kenya, so that we can attract Kenyans industrialists to come and invest here. Yes, we need to add value to all the raw materials they produce.
Thank you, Chris KIRUBI, for answering these questions.
Thank you very much, and I'm happy that you welcomed me to your channel.
Our pleasure. Chers téléspectateurs, une nouvelle fois, l'un des lauréats de la CGECI Académie. Nous allons à présent marquer une pause et nous poursuivrons la présentation de cet événement tout au long de la journée. À tout de suite.